10 years, bro.
You don't want that.
I think Brian would just cancel his memory. He'd never.
I know
come
you guys
back.
are supposed to be like elite athletes.
I know.
Not like
Well, put me in any other instance. Golf is weird because it looks so much easier
you
than
said
it
it.
is.
I wanted to actually chime in on this because I did hear you saying golf. It's not like an athletic activity. It's more of like a skill. I don't know about that.
It's one of those things where it's how do you put it? You could count it. I feel like it's hard to count as an athletic sport.
Okay.
Only because you're not, it doesn't challenge your strength or endurance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So and I heard you made the argument that you were like stationary or the ball was stationary or something, which I can see. It's not like,
oh yeah. Natalie was like, well, the ball doesn't move, so like, yeah,
but the thing
maybe
is, the movement, like the golf swing, like the kinetic chain of movement.
it's a physical It's a physical sport. We'll say that, right? But if I don't know if it's athletic.
Okay, well,
'cause
let me
like
make one comparison.
Trump plays golf.
He plays a lot of golf. Yeah, he does.
And I'm just referencing his body type, right?
Okay.
Like could he like beat you at like touch football?
Okay.
Even,
I see what you're
you know what I mean?
I see what you're driving at. Just to make one parallel. Know what I found? Actually, you mentioned this in another podcast. Is like doing like a squat or a deadlift.
Yeah.
We've been working a lot on that, like at the gym, and it's pretty amazing because
the difference, right?
And just the motion and like the just practicing the motion and getting like better.
Right.
I would have thought when I first like got there, like, oh, let me just watch you do this like movement, and I'll just like emulate it 10 times, and then I'll like have it down. But there's so much goes in, like the kinetic chain, all the moving parts of like a squat or a deadlift. With a golf swing, there's definitely some like parallel there with like everything.
My God.
So it is a skill in some ways, but I think there's a little more to it just because, like I said,
I'm definitely not saying that it's not physical, right?
Yeah.
You need your body. You need to know how to use your body. Similar, like Jameson, he's a whiz at jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how fast or how strong you are when it comes to that sport. It comes down to skill a lot of the times, right? The skill will beat out the strength, and timing will beat out the speed anyways. You know what I mean? Especially if you know what you're doing, right? Wouldn't you say that's sort of a fundamental part about something like that?
Well, there's definitely a nuance to it. In certain scenarios, differing levels of strength will have, more or less advantage.
Yeah. So what he's saying is that you can have an advantage by having a little bit more strength, but skill will still probably overcome that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so what were we touching on?
The golf swing.
The golf swing, yeah. So in the same way that the golf swing requires a tremendous amount of practice and skill to do it. So, I mean, I'm not one to, totally, I'm not trying to bash it, but I guess it just doesn't, I don't know if it would be as much of like a football or like a
I'll give you that.
soccer type of oriented sport. I mean, it's obviously a sport, right? I mean, it's a sport. It is.
It's an Olympic sport.
It is. Yeah, exactly. So my point is it's something that I think anybody can do as long as they practice enough and don't have any pre-existing conditions that would like hurt them to do it. But I don't know a lot about golf, so that's why it's like I'm kind of a little, I only have so much to say about it because I've seen it. I know how to help people get better at it from a physiological standpoint, not from a skill standpoint, but at least to continue doing it without injury. But that's as far as I can kind of go with it.
Well, if you keep playing, it's really easy to like get the golf bug. Like you practice a little bit, you get a little bit better, and you just want to keep going out.
Well, there's certainly, I will say, a lot. There's a lot of damn it, I'm having a total brain fart. The word it really feels good when you smack the ball.
It does.
Like when you hit the ball, it feels
There's nothing
great.
better. There's nothing better.
In fact, I like a lot of games like that with I don't know if it's like golf, but I like tennis and badminton. Those are really fun.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find places to play those types of games. I feel like there is not that many tennis courts. I mean, maybe towards summer there is, but like around here, I think Palmer has one.
Yeah. Long Meadow's got the best.
They got a few. A lot of people play those things too. A lot of clients. But I will say, even though my argument might be that golf is not that much of a sport as much as other sports might be, or at least physically demanding, but it definitely has a lot of you have a lot of people with like injuries coming from it.
Oh yeah.
Right? But that's mostly because of that age bracket. That's
true.
Anybody who's anybody can play. So now you have these sedentary people who are completely sedentary. Their whole lives been sedentary, and then they're going and swinging and just firing the same group of muscles continuously over and over again. You develop a sciatica and all this asymmetry in your core and your legs.
Yeah.
So by coincidence, it's one of those sports where people end up developing all these terrible So what I'm trying to say, folks, is if you like playing golf, make sure you're exercising your whole body, especially your core on both sides.
Yeah, you got to do it.
You get fired up. How long you been playing golf?
I started playing when I was like in middle school, which I got a lot of heat for that back in the day. I remember those names, by the way. People out there that made fun of me for playing golf in middle school, I haven't forgotten. So I'm coming for you guys.
Every time he
stupid now.
Every time he smashes that ball, take that, Derek.
Yeah.